Welcome to our Nickel City Funding Podcast. I am back again, Brian Traky, Loan Officer, here with one of my real estate partners, Sean Fay with Metro Roberts Realty.
How's everyone doing?
So Sean Fay has been one of my realtor partners going on a couple years now. We've got a bunch of deals going together, and Sean had a little bit of an interesting start to coming into real estate and his background and stuff. So before you were a realtor, Sean, tell everyone a little bit about what you used to do.
Yeah, so let me start with a little about myself. I graduated high school in 2011. 2 years out of high school, right out of high school, I had no idea what I wanted to go to college for. I tore my ACL, my meniscus. I mean, you were my soccer coach. You were my soccer coach junior year, but senior year I tore my ACL, my meniscus. So went to physical therapy for that. Said, oh, what the hell, let's go to physical therapy school. So I did that for 2 years, found out it wasn't for me, ended up transferring over to nursing school. So that's what I've been doing for the past 7 or 8 years. I was a full-time registered nurse. Going into this year, this will actually be the start of my 4th year in real estate. So I've been in the business for about 4 years. The reason why I got into real estate was when my daughter was born. I wanted to do something a little more to be able to provide for my family a little more. You know, nursing pays, it's good, but I mean, there's always more we can do. So she was my little inspiration. When she was a newborn, I was doing all the real estate classes online. It was go as you're at your own pace. So every morning I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I'd do my real estate classes, watch all the videos, do that for about 4 hours each morning, and then eventually finish those off and got my license. So,
What do you think some similarities to nursing and real estate would you say are?
well, I mean, you're dealing with people, right? The biggest thing is communication. As a nurse, that's how you build a rapport with your patients, just like that's how you build a rapport with your clients is communication. Another thing that kind of transfers over from nursing to real estate is that trust factor too. You know, your patients want to trust you. When you come in the morning, you're with them for 12 hours a day, right? You're handing them their medications. They have to trust you. Well, with a big transaction like someone buying a house or selling their house, it's the same thing. If they don't trust you, the deal's probably not going to go good. So that's one of the biggest things I feel is communication and trust.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that. That sounds good. So when you switched from nursing to real estate, like how was that transition? Like, was it difficult? Was it, are you still doing nursing? Like, what are you doing now in your daily routine?
Yeah, so I'm actually still working nursing, but now thankfully I'm down to part-time. Real estate has given me the luxury of dropping down to part-time, so I work 2 8-hour shifts at Mercy Hospital. The biggest transition was, as a nurse, I have a salary, right? I'm making hourly pay. So I'm guaranteed a paycheck. The biggest thing was the no guaranteed money with real estate. You have to work your tail off to make your money. You also have to market yourself. That's something I was all new to. I mean, with nursing, with my jobs, if I wanted a new job, I'd have to market myself. I just had to hand them a resume, do an interview, call it a day. Real estate, in order to get your clients, you have to be good at marketing, social media. I mean, I was on the brink of deleting all my social media before I became an agent, but it's such a key tool to get your business out there and to obtain your clients where it's just, you need it.
Yeah, that's a good point leading into social media, because I follow you on there, and it seems like you make a lot of good content on that. And where did that come from to make those videos? Where did you come up with those ideas and stuff like that?
TikTok, honestly. From other influencers on TikTok, real estate agents I follow on TikTok, just real estate agents I follow on Twitter, on Facebook, getting content ideas from them. And then, I mean, even this alone, this is still out of my comfort zone, even though I'm doing my small business podcast. Doing 30-second videos on TikTok was out of my comfort zone too. So the biggest thing is getting out of that comfort zone and growing, and just taking that content and running with it.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about, it seems like you do a lot of giving back to the community, which is awesome. I've seen you just recently did a toy drive at Metro Roberts. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it was my second annual toy drive, just a holiday donation drive. This year we got a lot of toiletries, clothing, stuff like that for children, for adults. Like I said, it was my second annual. It benefits Gateway Longview. My sister-in-law worked for Gateway Longview, so she was kind of my in to kind of help them out a little bit. But next year I'm looking to expand it a little more. I'm one who is never satisfied with stuff I do. So even though we got great donations last year, great donations this year, I want more donations to help more people. So we got some plans in the works. My family came up with some great ideas that we're going to discuss throughout the year. I'm not going to procrastinate on the, planning for it. So I'm going to give a whole year to plan for next year, and hopefully can help even more people next year.
And Nickel City's always down to partake and stuff like that with you.
Absolutely.
And then I also noticed whenever you sell a house, it looks like you do something for your clients that gives back to the community as well.
I do. Yeah. So on top of a real estate gift that I do send them, I also donate $150 to a charity of their choice. As you said, the biggest thing for me is giving back to the community. You get what you give, and it's just always nice to be able to help people.
Who are some of the charities you've gotten through that?
SPCA, Roswell. There's so many of them. I could name them forever, but those are two of the biggest ones. Yeah, absolutely.
Giving back to the community is huge for real estate. Get your names out there, and shows that you do good stuff. So, what's your goal for 2024? What are you looking for 2024? You think?
Well, my best year in real estate, my 4 years, was $4 million in sales. I wanted to surpass that this year. Unfortunately, I did not. So I'm going to start off the year by changing up some things personally and professionally to be able to surpass that $4 million best year I had. So that's my goal, is to surpass that.
What are a couple things you're going to do different this year, you think?
Well, I think a lot of it is just starting. I know we talked about the 72-hour fast to start the year. So I think to start the year, I'm going to really focus on myself to get in that to strengthen that mental fortitude and get in the right mindset to be able to start pumping out more videos on social media and start getting more connections and doing more small business podcast interviews. So it's all about networking too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. All right, I think that's about all I got for you today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We talk a little bit about you real quick now.
What do you got for me?
Yeah, so I mean, I know you've been you're a real estate agent too.
I do have my license. Yeah, I do have my license.
So how did that what were you first? Were you a loan officer first? Were you a real estate agent first?
So it all started with Jim Roberts. I worked full time for Jim in his property preservation REO sales division for about 8 years. When I started with him, he helped me get my real estate license and get going with that, and kind of mentoring me along the way for that. And then about 4 years ago, I was just working with Nickel City for my loans as a realtor, and Chris Vaslow approached me about possibly becoming a loan officer. Got Jim's blessing to do so, and it's been about an awesome 4 years since. So it was real estate first and then into loans, but I can tell you I'm a full-time loan officer. My real estate is really friends and family, keep the license going, but I'm 100% full loan officer, available 24/7 for my clients. So,
I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
I know you're going to keep into the real estate business too. We were talking before this about potential first flip in the near future.
Flip or a rental. I can't decide which way to go. I live out in Angola, so the summers are beautiful. So a lot of people are doing Airbnbs out there, getting a cottage, getting it fixed up. Even my current house I live in probably would be a great Airbnb when I'm ready to, maybe move into a little bit bigger place. But, it's definitely something to look into. I think real estate is one of the best investments you can make. And, I wish I had 10 houses already, but start with one and keep rolling.
Hey, better late than never, right?
Exactly.
That's what we're looking for. This past year I was hoping to get our first rental under wraps, but financially wise, it just didn't make too much sense right now. So that's another goal this year, is to get our first rental under our belt. And
what are you looking for your rental?
Probably multi-unit, 2 to 4. A single family would be great too. Like you said, Airbnb, it's so lucrative. Those short-term rentals are huge. We just stayed in one of the Catskills. It was beautiful. It was right on their property, actually. It was just in a little space, 1 bedroom. It's kind of like a studio, but there was a wall in between the living room and the bedroom.
I saw some of your pictures.
Yeah, but something even just small like that, you're making passive income doing that.
I actually heard from some of my Airbnb clients is they're working with traveling nurses now, and they're, I guess, great clients to come in. They come in very reliable, and you know what you're getting with them, and then they're technically a short-term client as well. So I know a lot of people are doing that. Have you ever been a traveling nurse before?
No, I haven't.
You never did that?
No. We actually, before the kids, we were going to take a travel contract and go to Hawaii, but we had our 2 dogs at the time, and in order to go to Hawaii, your dogs had to be quarantined for 30 days. So we're like, we can't do that to them. It would have been terrible. We would have loved it. We ended up going to Hawaii for our honeymoon, so we actually made it there. But being able to get paid to be there would have been very nice, but it just didn't make sense for the dogs at the time. So, yeah.
Well.
All right. It was good talking to you.
All right.
Good.